Hey YouTube, coming at you with another sort of Beyond the Hype with Talonflame in the Ultra League. So obviously with Incinerate buff and now access to Fly, Talonflame has jumped to the top 20 of the Ultra League rankings. So is it worth it? I'll kind of go over that during the battles. Pairings, my thought process was you're going to be weak to water as the main one. You're still weak to water electric, but one of the main, okay, fine. Um, but one of the main things that I'm worried about is Giratina, right? Just taking those resisted incinerates and only being able to hit fly, you're just going to get killed. So I put in a Licky as the answer to that. And then the third one, I tried Crest for starters, and then I did Crest with Grass Knot, and then Future Sight, and then I switched it to Greninja later on to deal with that, but that makes you double weak to electric, so couldn't truly find a pairing that worked. But that's okay. It was mostly just let's test Talonflame. And Talonflame, it was good. It was good. Like, I'm not going to lie. The Incinerate buff you feel. The thing with Talonflame is I think the meta is changing with the anticipation of Talonflame and Poliwrath. And so I already went over Poliwrath the other day saying how strong I think it is in the Ultra League. Talonflame, I'm not as sold as how strong it is. I think it's good. I think that with all the Giratinas, with now the Poliwraths that you can hit with Fly, but like it gets the Scald and Icy Wind pretty quick. And then I actually have seen since these two have come in, lanterns. Does everyone have a Hundo Lantern that they just have all the XLs they need to best buddy? Because I saw like 5-6 lanterns in these matchups, like, so that kind of already like lowered its strength. And then I have seen, I don't know if it's just like early days, I've seen a decrease in Virizion and Cobalion, right? Because Virizion and Cobalion would get lit up by Talonflame, and Cobalion would do really rough against Poliwrath because the counters would add up, and then Virizion would have a decent matchup especially if it's running Leaf Blade on Poliwrath. So here we go, right off the bat, right? This is why I paired it with Licky. Coming here, Lick's doing super effective. They're not getting out. They finally get out into a Greedent, which is really rough as it is resisting the Licks. There is like maybe 10 seconds of difference between our switch clocks. With Licky, you're kind of, you know what you get. You get a bulky, super not hard hitting Pokemon. Licks are resisted, so that's unfortunate. Greedent is super Spanish, but I've seen a huge up. Someone must have created the line. I've seen it like 20 times now. Tentacruel Lead, Greedent safe swap, Guzzlord in the back, I think. I saw that line so many times. So knowing that I was going to lose the matchup anyways, I just didn't want to get like farmed down and have him come out with energy. So I decided to just give that up. Knowing that I can probably still get like a fly off here, and being able to chip this would be significant. So they end up shielding one. At this point, I may just let this go down because I don't even know if I can get to another fly, and fly's not going to take this out. Might as well just have this, knowing that I can get to a Shadow Ball. They are very unlikely to double shield burn their second shield here. So now I'm doing super effective Licks. Probably let this go and just try and sweep with Crest. Go instant swap here, and they instant swap into Toxicroak. This one you're seeing the double Moonblast Future Sight there, no Grass Knot. I'm going to shield in case it was a Shadow Ball. Just a Mud Bomb. I could probably go Moonblast as neutral here, but might as well just go super effective, take it out. I think they shield. Yeah, so they end up shielding, which is fine. Greedent doesn't have much left. I was worried about the Shadow Ball again, but clearly they do not have it. These Psycho Cuts are adding up. That is definitely just a Mud Bomb, which is fine. So I try to like farm down, and then they try and catch So I just got it low enough, and then I try and farm down here. I remember this matchup. I was like, I think I just threw this game, and I may have, but I think my opponent maybe throws it right back because I'm still at 100 energy. So toxicroak comes in. I try and commit to the farm down here, get to the future site. Luckily, inconsistent game mechanics, they do not get a. I do lose this matchup. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I threw this one. I should have just gone like. I should have just gone double Moonblast there. With Talonflame, I think in neutral matchups like this, your goal is to just shield, flame charge up, and go from there, right? So the problem with Incinerate, right? I have to. So this is the part of what I hate about Incinerate, which I already talked about here, right? So I am at a flame charge. If I were to throw right away, they would get 3 turns worth of fast moves through with 1 snarl. So I have to throw the Incinerate to time it that they only get 1, right? 5 versus they'll get 2 snarls is 6. But in doing that, you're kind of taking away the strength of Talonflame, which is Incinerate's now boosted. You flame charge to ramp up, and then you're doing a lot more damage there. So they eventually try to catch with a Lantern. Again, I don't have Grass Knot on this. You could use this with Grass Knot because you can use Licky Licky as a safe swap and then use this with Grass Knot. I was using it because I didn't know like what safe swap I wanted. And then running Future Sight here gives you more flexibility for safe swaps. But I had seen with this team a ton of Lanterns. So I looked in mine. I do not have a Hundo Lantern. I have a Hundo Pelipper. It's all these like flyers too that are now like you need the Hundos for. I don't have a Hundo Mandibuzz. I don't have a Hundo Skarmory. It's just like, okay, like crap. I don't have all these Hundos that you now need for the Ultra League, so that's unfortunate. Again, just trying to minimize fast move through. I can't tell if they actually got a weird game through mechanic there through. So now they throw there, so it's just like, okay, like what do I do here? I go for this, and it's a Hypno, and this is spicy. I've already boosted once, so I figured like let's just try and chip. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's just grab the second shield or take this out. Not take it out, but it would like hurt a lot. And then I thought like with this now, I'm going to shield a potential Focus Blast probably soon. Nope. Okay, just Thunder Punch. That's fine. But this is weak to Ghost. And then I just need to make sure I come out with enough energy to deal with the... I don't want to take another move to come out to beat up, just Body Slam to beat the Umbreon. So goodbye Hypno. Oh yeah, this is very low. So there is your Body Slam. There is your win. Okay, Ninetales, great lead. I'm assuming they have an answer for it. Charizard. So this is an interesting one. I will eventually get out because I really want to keep the Talonflame on the Ninetales. But I think it's just worth getting a shield for. I then come Cress, knowing that Cress can, 1, tank a Blast Burn. I end up shielding. That's fine. I'll take it to the even shield and then take switch here. So they double shield, which makes sense. They're trying to fight for switch against, like, they really cannot have the Ninetales take on, like, the Talonflame, but then they give up switch anyways, which is kind of weird. I'm switch locked still, so I can't really get out. I can now get out. I think what I'm doing is just, like, letting them take me out, force them to dump some energy. I'm going to incinerate down. I can live 1. It's a shadow, though. Do I want to try it? Yeah, I can live 1. I can get to a fly. So if the Charizard comes back in, I can fly and take it out. But it is a Reggie, so that is kind of risky. I think what they're doing, and I remember this, what they're doing. They are forcing me to dump energy because they can now come in and take me out with Charizard. So it was not a bad strategy, but I'm still so far ahead on energy that I can get to this fly, and now it's a race to the flame charge. And I think I win the race, and I think they think I win the race because I remember them quitting. I think that was like maybe premature quit, but it was close. There's an Ampharos, which is a terrible lead. Save swap Cress. Get hit with the Reggie, I think. Yeah. So I get hit with the Reggie, which is like, okay, fine, game over. Right? Tough lead. And I think this is when I switched into, I think after this match is when I switched into Greninja. Because at least with Greninja, you can like smack some neutrals. Licky Licky is a fine save swap. So just being like, just because Cresselia kills this, right? I know Talonflame, Incinerate, Flame Charge is good, but like if they're ahead on energy, which they will be here, one Zap Cannon is going to hurt a ton. Licky Licky is best at neutral. I give up switch here. I think I give up switch here because I'm just like drawing dead in that matchup. Maybe they don't have a Thunder Punch. Maybe they have like a Zap Cannon or something, but they end up having this. And now they take me out, and then it's just like, I can like, don't need to top left right now, but it's pretty much a top left. Come in here with Crest because I'm at a bunch of moves, so I thought maybe I could just like take it out, but in the end it was just a bad alignment, bad sort of team comp too. I think I have to shield up a Focus Blast here, and then I farm down. Then we'll have to see what's in the back though, but not looking optimistic, and that's probably when I put in Greninja. So if you are running a Talonflame in this league, let me know what you're pairing with. I think the problem is, I think there's a few problems. One is you have the obvious weaknesses. Electric, okay, there's not a ton of electric. Maybe there's a smidge more with Poliwrath everywhere. So you gotta watch out for like, Galvantula is actually evenish because they're half bug. But like Ampharos, Lanturns now are showing up. What other electrics are there? Zapdos is highly ranked, right? So that could be tricky at times. So from that perspective, it's like, okay, you got to cover electric, fine. You have to cover water. Poliwrath seems to be the main water right now, but there's still Swamperts, there's still Greninjas, right? There's still some good water Pokemon. You need to cover. Poliwrath is like an evenish matchup, as you're going to see here. You have to, and I'm double weak to fighting in the back when I switch to this team, so I wouldn't run this team either. This is like an okay-ish matchup because depends whether they bait you with Skull, like Icy Wind or not, because that still does like a ton of damage. You can probably live one Scald, but I'm just going to try and they come into Muck, so I just ramp up here, which doesn't make sense. I have generally an okay matchup with either of these. It's not it's a Kanto Muck, so it's not a half dark. I can just come in here with Licky Licky earlier. So yeah, you got to cover the electric. You got to cover the waters. Greninja, Tapu Fini, which is a tough one. Poliwrath is, I think it's a losing matchup now with the Incinerates just not going through, like not doing anything. So that is all the waters. But then you need to watch out for Dragons, Dragonite, Giratina being the big one because that thing is just going to light you up. Jellicent, I didn't even talk about Jellicent as a water, right? So there's a lot of the key meta in here that makes Talonflame not only tough to build with, but like you need to cover, it just has a lot of like weaknesses against the main meta. So you're just looking at the thing like even Mandibuzz is a close matchup. Virizion you'll light up. Pidgeot is like bait dependent, but then you get like Poliwrath, Tapu Fini, Regirock. I didn't even talk about Rock, right? Rock resists everything. Not that there's a ton of Rock, but Regirock is number 14. Guzzlord as a Dragon, 16. Then you go to like look at all these water, 18 to 21. Jellicent, Swampert, Lantern, Pelipper, right? 4 straight waters there. Dragonite at 24. Tentacruel, I saw a ton of Tentacruels. So from that perspective, Zapdos is at 26. From that perspective, is it strong? Yes. I'm worried that the meta of the Ultra League limits this a bit more. And I think that's what we saw um, basically in the past here was that Talonflame, when it got Incinerate, and when it had Incinerate, Flame Charge, Brave Bird, was very, very strong. And there's your Lantern, right? Was very, very strong. And every single person, when it first came out, many seasons ago, used Talonflame. It was the main bird of choice. Two things happened since then. One is other flyers got wing attack. So the other flyers like Pidgeot, Charizard just became better Ultra League Pokemon than Talonflame. And then two, I think that the meta shifted in the fact that you lost a bit of things that you were beating. So like Trevenant got nerfed. So Trevenant was like such a nice win for this, but Trevenant got nerfed. And then, I mean, Giratinas were always everywhere, which was an issue. You think with the Cobalion Virizion core in the back, that would be decent. Which it is to a certain extent, but you still need to watch for Stone Edge, right? Stone Edge is double super effective against Flyer Fire. So you got to still watch for the Stone Edge there. It honestly just seemed like Grass in particular went away in Ultra League. So I'm looking at just like Grass rankings. Virizions were around. Trevenants got nerfed, so they went away. And then it depends what range, like Elo range you're in, but like I'm really not seeing the rest on this list are Abomasnow, Meganium, Venusaur, Superior is now here, which is crazy to me. Chestnut, Fairthorn. So those are the main grass type Pokemon in the Ultra League. And you weren't seeing a ton of them. So when one of your biggest things that you can actually burn through is that or Bug, and there's no freaking Bug in Ultra League, right? Galvantula, which hits super effective against you as well. Escav, which kind of went away. Golisopod, which is half water, so that neutralizes it. So when two of your biggest things that you can hit against are Bug and Grass, and they're not really round, I think it just kind of lowered Talonflame. So we'll see where its place in this meta is. I think it's... There's your Venusaur, actually. But I'm too low anyways. I remember catching on this one anyways. I forgot that I had a fly. So you're going to see me catch one and go down with the fly. I take one. I do end up winning because I catch on Talonflame. So I get a Body Slam off, and then catching a move, I'll outpace to the second Body Slam. But I catch a Frenzy Plant on my Talonflame when my Talonflame had fly, and that's just me not remembering. So there's your fly, there's your Talonflame going down. So that was kind of dumb, but in the end, it worked out. So yeah, we'll have to see where Talonflame is in the meta. Right now, having used Poliwrath, and knowing that Giratina is still a great save swap, knowing that Golisopod is still a great save swap, I feel like Talonflame is not going to be as strong in the Ultra League as it feels in the Great League right now. So that's my initial assumption, but you can use it yourself and let me know what you think about it. But that is it. So speaking about other things I tried, Suicune. I gotta make sure that I pronounce it correctly before I do that video. That will be coming. I don't know the order. It's either going to be Talonflame morning, that in the afternoon, or I'm going to reverse them. So there's that. So send me some Ultra League teams, send me some Retro Cup teams, link in the description if you want me to showcase. It would be appreciated. And that is it. I'm trying to make Skeledirge work, and I'm having a tough time making that work right now. And I think it's basically the same analysis of like, there's a lot of stuff that is just beating fire in this meta, and you don't hit super effective against a lot of things. So I haven't been able to team build with that great yet. Kind of suffers the same sort of things that Talonflame suffers. With also being half ghost, so you're now weak to dark and ghost yourself, which makes it actually even worse. But that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.